So the first step to our Easter egg decoration would be to boil the eggs. Now, we don't want the shells to crack, so and if they do, they should be discarded because we want a nice shell that is not cracked. So make sure the eggs are boiled correctly, and then we will take one of the eggs, and we bought some coriander to make a pattern out of it. It could have been parsley, it could have been any type of leaf that you wet with the water so that it will stick, make a pretty pattern, and place it the way you want it. Previous to the dyeing of the egg with the color dye. So you obtain pretty patterns with those leaves, and just a little bit of water so they stick well. And then we will use, in this case, pantyhose that we cut up so that we can tie the leaves onto the eggshell so they will not move. Basically, you just take scissors to cut up the pantyhose. So basically, in order to wrap the egg around, you would, after cutting the pantyhose, you would stretch it on your hand like this to get it wrapped up tight. This way it's already in place. All you have to do is stretch it to one side where it will be tied. And so just stretch it over your hand to start, and then just engulf the egg shell with it. Okay, so you start putting the leaves on the cooked egg, on the eggshell, and just stick to the eggshell with water. The leaf sticks with water, then we wrap it up. We're using pantyhose here, could have been cheesecloth perhaps. Just wrap it up nice and tightly. Prepare it for the dye. And then you will need to tie it up, and so you can use a common thread or a string or whatever you have. Anything will do just to keep it in place. Oh my god. Yeah, the cat wants to be part of the process. Okay. Okay, so sorry about the episode with the cat. So this is how it would look initially once the eggshell is wrapped up. The leaf nice and tight, and then you tie it on the side. So you would avoid seams if you used pantyhose, so that it will be nice and snug fitting all around the egg, and not create any seams on the shell. There. And of course, the more you do, the more you'll get the hang of it. So here we're starting a second egg for the Easter egg dye. Just make it fit nice and snug. And then just wrap it tightly at the end. Make sure everything is in place so that the pattern you're using, the leaf, will stay in place for the dye. and just tie it nice and firmly at the end. And there you go. I have a second one ready. So basically you can use just about anything to create a pattern. Thread, for example, or confetti. Get them wet so they will stick on the shell and create different patterns. Here we're using our thread floss. So now for the egg dyeing process, we bought some egg dye in different colors. This is the red one, and inside of it we have, of course, the egg dye and a pair of gloves. So this dye we got is actually to decorate 30 eggs, so there's a lot, and you have the recipe on the package telling you how much water you should add. So as we're only making a few eggs for this demonstration, 3 or 4 eggs, we have cut down the portions, so we put less water to boil, and we should add vinegar or wine vinegar if you have, and so we reduce those portions also, so we will not be needing the whole batch. So boiling the water now. Okay, so we got our water to boil. As we're making a small batch, we put just enough water to make sure that the eggs will be completely covered. So now the water boiled, turn off the heat, and we go, for this portion, go with 2 tablespoons of vinegar. We don't have wine vinegar, so we will just use the regular vinegar. So we figure about 2 teaspoons of vinegar for this amount of water. Should work. So we'll add a little bit of the dye to the freshly boiled water and vinegar. And perhaps stir it before we put the eggs inside. Very good. And now we will add the eggs to the mixture. Make sure they're nice and covered so they get their dye evenly across the eggshell. And just 1 regular egg in there. And we will wait 3 minutes and see the result shortly. Okay, so the 3-minute soaking in dye has passed, so we will take our little Easter eggs out and just lay them down on a napkin there. Absorb the excess water, red water. And now we're ready to cut the nylon stocking off and see what pattern we get underneath. Still have the leaf on it, the coriander. There we go. Perfect leafy tree pattern. We got so pretty. Well, the egg came out pink, even better than red, I guess, for Easter purposes. And this is one. And the one we did with the thread gives off a different pattern. Okay, and we did put one egg in there, just a regular egg with no pattern, no nylon attached. And we're taking it out now. And it has a beautiful texture to it from the dye. Even with no pattern, it's very pretty. So there you have our little Easter eggs with red dye. We haven't used the green, the blue, the yellow. We haven't mixed. We haven't tried putting any stickers, which we could have done. But I'm really fond of those leafy patterns. Look almost like classic tree shape design. So there you go. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more of our videos.